Hello, this is Inside the Press Box with Sunil Sunder Raj for the Everyday Fan Sports. This morning, I'm happy to be speaking with Kenna Squier, junior guard for the NJIT Highlanders women's basketball team. The Highlanders coming off a big win, 61-49 over the Wisconsin Badgers yesterday afternoon at the Kohl Center in Madison, Wisconsin. Kenna, thank you so much again for taking some time out, and congratulations to you and the rest of the team on the win.
Thank you so much.
Can you just talk about this, dropping those first two games of the season, but roar back and, said, against the Big Ten team here. I mean, this, for this program, we talked about it before the season. I mean, last year in the America East, conference, becoming the first athletic program at NJIT to win a conference game. But here now, it said, fast forward to this season, 2021-22, be able to, it said, register this type of victory. Just talk about it.
Honestly, it still feels unreal. We obviously started out the season with a disappointing loss against Wagner, and then we knew that we had a huge weekend this past weekend playing Marquette and then the University of Wisconsin. And, I don't think a lot of people expected us to come back home with a win from either of those games. But I think we proved a lot of people wrong, and we proved to ourselves how much we've been working and how, just how much we've improved. And it just still doesn't feel real that we won. What was that, yesterday? It doesn't even feel real. So
yeah, talk about it. It said after the season opener loss, said to Wagner, that was a tough one. They said to open up the season. Then, right off the bat, you're on the road for two games. I mean, it popped up into my head, before we came on the air, and I was thinking about, especially with the COVID-19 pandemic, and it said traveling to another state, or just what that experience was like, staying in a hotel. I mean, we're still in the midst of this thing. I said right now, this pandemic. Just talk about that.
Well, this Wisconsin trip is something that we were supposed to do last season, and obviously we weren't able to because of COVID. So it's something that we've been waiting for a very long time. And being able to get on that bus and go to the airport and experience that all together, I think that that's something that is really amazing to experience as a team. And it just felt good to be somewhat back to normal again, getting to travel and stay over. And I think that that's also really important for our team bonding thing. Yeah. Type of stuff. We get to stay over in hotels and just have fun together after the games and stuff. And I think that was really important for us this past weekend, and maybe contributed to our win on Sunday.
Yeah. Talk about, you said again, the loss to Marquette. I mean, they're, despite, it said losing by 32 points, there were still plenty of positives to take away from that game. The fact that you scored 13 points in that game. Grace Plummer, 11 points. How about Trinity Williams, 10 points, 7 rebounds, coming off 13 points in her NJIT debut. Said against Wagner on Thursday night. Just talk about that. Being able to just again build off. Said that game, kind of.
Yeah, first of all, I think that Trinity has been playing absolutely amazing. And normally when you think of a freshman in her first game, you would think that, maybe she'd be more timid, a little bit nervous, but no, she was out there just playing basketball, and we were all super duper proud of her. And even the past 3 games, she's been playing amazing. And I think that's something that is really special, is the fact that when you look at all 3 games, everybody has been scoring. Everyone's been taking the ball. Everyone's been contributing. And I think that that's something that's really important, and is why we are going to have this success, and that we did have the success that we did. So I think that's really special.
Okay, just talk about from Friday, you had, almost 2 days, to prepare for that game. So I'm wondering what was the mood of the team, coaching staff, especially head coach Mike Lane, what his message was. Heading into the Wisconsin game yesterday. I was just curious about that, Kenna.
Yeah, so the biggest thing I think was that coach he told us, these are games that we could win. We're not supposed to win them, that we're not picked to win, but they are games that we can win. And he put that confidence in us. And we had a game on Friday and then a game on Sunday. We only had one day to learn about Wisconsin, and everyone was focused up and we were ready to go. And when we were sitting in that locker room pre-game, coach was saying, like, you guys have this opportunity to make history and to win a game that you're not supposed to win. And that would potentially change this program. And so he put that confidence in us before the game even started, and we just carried that through. And everyone from 1 through 17, everyone down the line, we all believed that we could beat them. And that, I think, is definitely part of the reason that we did.
Talk about playing in these larger, arenas. I mean, the Alvin McGuire Center on Friday night, and then of course the Cole Center yesterday afternoon, Kenna.
Yeah, so definitely the Cole Center. When we walked in, everyone was like shocked. Everyone had their phones out. It was the biggest arena I've ever been in, especially being on the floor. And you just look up and there's like rows and rows and rows of seating, and you like feel so small in there, but at the same time it makes you feel like so important because you do get a chance to play. I mean, the WEC is amazing, but just the size of the arenas that we did play in this past weekend were just absolutely incredible. And I think that like that feeling of walking in and seeing that and having all those lights on is something that no one will ever forget.
Yeah. I know it was extra special for you and the rest of your teammates, said to have fans back in the stands, students, alumni, but most importantly, parents, said supporting you, of course, there at the NJIT Wellness and Event Center on Thursday. But just talk about now here going on the road now, and now so you have the opposing crowd, the home crowd, to deal with. Just talk about that element as well, Kenna.
Yeah, although we did have a lot of fans come out for us, a lot of people's parents traveled, everyone's families were there, especially like Grace Plummer. She's from the Midwest, so she had a showing there, but it was nothing compared to the amount of fans that they had.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people there, but it was just energy. It was just, they were creating energy for us, and it's not something that made us nervous or shy away. It was just made us want to play even harder. So that was really, really awesome.
Okay, let's talk about you. You said last season you led the team in scoring and free throw shooting percentage, but talk about so far early on, just in terms of developing your game here, said in your junior season, and just again, you've been able to put up said double figures, said in all 3 games here, Kenna.
Yeah, I think that scoring has kind of always been my thing, and now this season I'm trying to focus on all the other parts of the game. I've been focusing on more rebounds, more assists, and that's a part of my game that I knew coming into this year I was going to have to evolve and get better at. And so that's something I've been really focusing on the past 3 games, and I will as well looking forward.
That's great. Okay, let's transition to yesterday's game. You and Ellen Stoll led the team in scoring with 14 points apiece, but I jotted down some of my notes. Kimmy Evans almost had a double-double yesterday, 8 points, 9 rebounds. Maria, scores 5 points right off the bat in the first quarter to really set that tone for you guys. And then to build on top of that, I mean, Lizzie Litwinko, 9 points, 5 rebounds. Grace Plummer, 3.6 rebounds. It's just, it may not add up, it may not show really in the stat sheet, but, to have, as you said, those contributions across the board and, said from 1 to 17, I mean, matters. And it really does, show that, everybody, said chipping in here, and it said it definitely led to yesterday's win. Yeah,
we were really just feeding off each other's energy the whole entire game. And we knew that everyone who stepped on the court was going to contribute. And so that really, I don't think they knew what to do with that, because everybody was scoring, everybody was getting rebounds, and that's hard to defend. Yeah. And, they were playing zone basically the whole time. And so we kind of were making adjustments to the zone. And then they ended up trying to play man at the end, and we were like, okay, we can score against you if you play man too. So everybody was contributing, and everybody was super pumped when someone else would score, and it was just, the energy was just amazing. I mean, I really see that with that year under their belt, a lot of the
the freshmen last year, now who are sophomores, you can see, I mean, that the confidence, the experience is really kicking in here, early on, Kenna.
Yeah, it's great because, as freshmen, all of them played a lot of minutes, which is really amazing as a freshman, which is something that I think is awesome with this program, is that it doesn't matter what year you are, how old you are, you're thrown into this and you're going to be playing regardless of what year. So I think that they were able to get a lot of time their freshman year, which just built up their confidence. And so, they're just getting better and better as every single game goes, and it's just amazing to see.
It's great. You said you led after the first quarter, the team did. Second quarter, you built it up to as many as 8 points. Then, Wisconsin went, I think, on a big run, 15-3. But I think what was important is that, Lizzie Litwinko scores 3 points in it, in that the last couple, last minute or two, and then you guys hold a halftime lead. I'm just wondering what head coach Mike Lane's message was, as well as the rest of the coaching staff at halftime to you and the rest of the team.
Yeah, it was really just, the game's not over. Yeah. This is just this is halftime. The game's not over. We're only up by 1 point, I think, at that point. And we knew that they were going to come out ready to go. They were going to come out fighting. We kind of punched them in the mouth early, and they weren't expecting that. And then they got a chance to regroup at halftime. And so we knew that they were going to come out strong, but we also knew that this was our chance. This was our time, that we only had to play another half of basketball, and then if we win, we make history. And so really the message at halftime from everybody was, let's play the best 20 minutes that we've ever played, and let's get this thing done, and let's not let up. Let's punch them in the mouth again, because we know they're going to come out hard. And so it was really just don't stop. Don't be content with where we are right now, because they're not content, and they're going to come out trying to take that lead. So, yeah.
I mean, 10-3 run, said to start the third quarter. Again, back and forth, they cut it to 2. But then, one of I asked this post game. I spoke to Coach Lane. Have you ever witnessed a fourth quarter like that? Such a dominant defensive effort. I mean, you outscored them 18-8, but to hold them without a point for over 5 minutes is just remarkable. I'm just wondering, that attention to detail, that, aggressiveness, everybody locked in and just, said manning up. I mean, just talk about that, Kenna.
Yeah, it's really what you said, is everybody was locked in. Everybody was completely focused. It was loud in there, but, we were talking to each other. We were calling out every screen. We were boxing out for every rebound. And, these are big girls that were playing. And so we had to do extra things to get these stops. We had to really hit them on the box outs, really get under those screens or over those screens quickly, really call out the screens. And I feel like it was everything was in motion. We were doing everything as it was supposed to be. And I really think that just comes down to everyone being locked in and everyone being focused.
Yeah. And another important stat out there is the free throw shooting. Compared to Thursday night against Wagner, I think yesterday 10 of 14 from the charity stripe line. I think you guys are 17 out of your last 21. If I'm not correct, I think you were 7 of 10 against Marquette. That is, I mean, those are the easiest points, to get, and you guys were able to capitalize on that.
It was huge, especially at the end of the game when they started fouling us. At that point, the game isn't over. Yeah. And the only way to make it over is to hit those foul shots. And we did. And that's how we finished out the game and how we ended up winning it.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about pressure pack, situation, and, said they were, again, desperate, said trying, to whittle the lead down, but you guys were able to withstand that charge. And again, that's where that experience, really does, matter the most, Kenna.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Okay. Talk about the final minute as that clock is winding down, to 0. Just Coach Lane described it on the bench, just the way, I mean, how much elation was there, but just talk about that.
I mean, in the fourth quarter at the beginning, it was kind of tough. And then I would look up when we were building this lead and the time was going down, and then there would be a timeout and we'd look at each other and we'd be like, 4 more minutes. We just need 4 more minutes. And then we'd be playing, and then I'd look up and there'd be 2 minutes left, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, we're literally 2 minutes away from winning this game. We're so close.
Yeah.
And every time we would look up, there'd be less and less time, and we would have more and more of a lead. And like it became more real that this was about to happen. And then when they started fouling us at the end and we started making our foul shots, it still didn't feel real, but I was like, there's no way that this is about to happen. And then we got the ball in at the end and our coach said, don't foul. And there was a couple seconds later and I was like, oh my, like we just won this basketball game. It was the most like surreal feeling in the world.
I know it was, I mean, especially on the court and then in the locker room, but just talk about, on the court, first, celebrating, say with your teammates, with the coaching staff.
Yeah, as soon as that buzzer went off, the whole bench cleared.
Yeah.
Everyone was jumping up. We were grabbing each other. Like there was just so much love in that moment that we all felt for each other, and it was just probably the greatest feeling that I've felt like basketball wise.
Yeah.
Everyone was so excited. We were like happy for each other. We were, all the fans were coming down, and it was just probably the best feeling like in that moment. And then in the locker room afterwards, Coach
I know you dazzled Coach Lane with
nice which he was super happy about. But it just carried like all the way through to the airport. And once we got back here, like everyone was on cloud nine. It was just amazing.
As we live in that social media age, and I say with the internet, I know that of course support from NJIT, the athletic programs, but across the country. I mean, just to have that national recognition, and that's something I asked you, of course, Ellen, Lizzie, about that. Said, and now to see that to come, to fruition. I mean, that just must be so exhilarating. Just again, you just you threw the roof with that. Just talk about that.
Yeah, our support system is amazing. Like other athletes from here were posting about it. NJIT Athletics was posting about it, and then we had like NCAA women's basketball was tweeting about it and about like the upset, and it was just like all the way around. It was just amazing people's reactions to what had happened. Which is something that we had really never experienced something to that level before. And just to see how proud of us everyone was, I think that's something that was really amazing to see. So
it's great. That's great. I know before we came on there, I'm wondering how that flight home was, back to Newark, New Jersey.
Yeah, we had a little shout out on the plane. NJIT women's basketball got a shout out, which was pretty nice. And then when we were walking through the Milwaukee airport, people were like, what, NJIT, what school, like where are you guys from? We're like, you haven't heard of that yet? Like this is Wisconsin, you haven't heard? But yeah, we were just like so excited walking through that airport, and even when we got back here, and we kind of just didn't want it to end.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that's something I think I asked you, before the season started, putting that NJIT jersey on, it said what it represents, and like, to wear that proudly, and, now people, of course, across, America, probably even, across the globe, know who NJIT basketball is, especially, women's basketball. I'm sure that's really important. Again, to grow the game, and, you want to see the popularity, said be there. And now that just, again, to have that type of win yesterday, for this program, I mean, you see like, now with the talent coming in next year, the future, present and future looks really bright for NJIT women's basketball.
Yeah, as you kind of mentioned, like, I don't think many people really know about us. And just walking through the airport, people like ask, where are you guys from? Like, New Jersey, like it says it on our shirt, from New Jersey. But people don't really know about us, and hopefully this is a step in the right direction to kind of getting our program's name out there, and kind of making people more aware of who we are.
That's true. I mean, I know that first and foremost, academics are important, but it's great when you have that combination of both academics and athletics. I mean, it definitely, said clicks on all cylinders. Okay, let's fast forward to Thursday night. I mean, you get a couple of days off here, but, practicing, time to, of course, turn the page to LIU. I'm wondering, because, sometimes, a drop off, but just what the, Coach Lane's message was, post game, and then, even, heading home, as you guys, get ready for Thursday night there?
Yeah, just getting off the bus back here at school last night, Coach Lane said, we get today. Today's an off day. We get today to enjoy that win.
Yeah.
Then Tuesday when we wake up, we're focused on Thursday and we're focused on the next game.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something we'll be able to do really well. And if anything, we're more focused, we're more driven. And I think that win is going to give us the energy to kind of carry on through this season. And, I could see it being a historical season for us. So I'm really excited, looking forward to see what that looks like.
Yeah, I was actually taking a look at LIU's schedule. They play at Pittsburgh on Wednesday night, so they go back to back. So it said that's going to be interesting to see what that type of dynamic presents. Said on Thursday night as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's something that last year we were doing all the time was back to back games. Yeah. But that's going to be a challenge for them, or it could also help them. We don't know. But we're just going to be ready on Thursday, ready to go, looking to continue a winning streak for us.
Okay, I have to end it this way, is that, I know I did it the first time around when I interviewed you, but now I think it's even better now. What's your message now to the fans out there locally and nationally now?
Yeah, well, now it's a little bit different. I don't know. I guess it would just be like, you can't underestimate us. Like, we've proved ourselves now. People want to doubt us and they don't want to think that, we're as good as we know that we are. And I think that we just proved to people that, we are a very special team. And, you don't want to mess with us. Like, if we're like together and we've got it, then, we're going to be a tough team to beat, especially in our conference, especially in the rest of our non-conference play. And, hopefully now this helps people want to come out and see us even more. We had a great showing at home last week, and hopefully just as many, if not more, people want to come out and see us now, and just continue to support us.
Sounds good. Kenna, can't thank you enough. I really appreciate you taking again the time out to speak with me. Again, congratulations to you and the rest of the team on, again, as you rightly put, a historic win over Wisconsin yesterday, and wishing you guys, you and the rest of the team all the best on Thursday night and the rest of the 2021-22 season.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.